Well, indeed.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, everybody. It's Bobby and Taylor here at East Carolina Rides. New week. And had a little bit of February left. Got
Thank God.
a week left of what has seemed to be one of our worst months every year, but it's a short month. We actually got a little bit extra days in March, yeah, because we don't end on the very last day of the month. It's something that Chrysler does, which me and you are familiar with, but if you're not in Chrysler Dodge Jeep, you know, we don't end on a weekend, so they don't end on the 28th, which I think would be Saturday.
Could be a blessing and a curse.
Yeah, because it shortens March.
Yeah.
But yeah, me and you, I think, are tied. We're close, you know, to making it into a month.
Well, I'm sitting on 8, I think. I think Brian Brian likes to add stuff.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? Yeah, so I'm...
The optimism.
I'm one behind. I don't never really like to say nothing because I want it to be in other people's heads.
Yeah.
Oh, TJ's like, man, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well,
In
now I'm in the know, and everybody else is. If they watch. Our viewership has not been fantastic here lately, but we haven't been broadcasting. I feel like maybe this podcast needs a little
youth.
push, you know, a little youth. Yeah, we'll bring in somebody that is
knows
new,
how to edit.
And maybe we can get our social media guru Graham to help us get a push. He did talk about chopping it up and putting it in like TikTok or something like that. But that's actually one of the discussion points for today is video. You know, video is like pretty important today in the
that's
sales world.
supposed to be like a big thing now for emails and internet leads.
Yeah, and it really kind of has been. You know, I've been using YouTube for sales anyways, you know, for like 7 years. Now some of my videos in the beginning were really like not thought out. I was like doing a lot of uhs and ahs, and you know, it would be like a 20-minute long video that should have been probably a 6-minute video. You know what I mean? Yeah. My very first video I posted, I left on there, you know, you can take your videos down and everything, but I left it up there because people were commenting about, man, if you're sending customers these videos, you need to rethink think what you're doing here. You need to spend some time practicing before you just make this video. But it was my very first video going over a car that I was still learning.
The internet world is a rough place, boy.
No, yeah.
There's something else. No sympathy.
No, it's fun sometimes dealing with the commenters. Sometimes I ain't got anything to say to them, but you know, it just feels like at TikTok especially, and it happens on my YouTube videos.
Yeah.
But TikTok, man, I feel like
Filled with trolls.
Yeah, it's like the anonymity, you know, gives them the power to say whatever they want.
Man.
And you know, the last comment I got was talking about the Hemi and, you know, some of the faults that people experienced over the years, and you know, no engine out there is perfect. And I feel like I'm always like defending Chrysler Dodge Jeep for every little thing that becomes an issue for somebody. And I kind of, that part of it, it gets old.
Yeah. Well, it's like a few years ago they come out with the Jeep Grand Cherokee. It was like, I think, well, I say a few years ago, it's over 10 years ago now. Mm-hmm. But they came out with the electronic shift. It was new to the world. It's not something, you know. But the electronic shift, when you pull it back, it just flips back into place.
Oh, the monostable shifter.
Yeah. So whenever they come out with that, people were forgetting to put their cars in park.
Right. Yeah.
Now,
this
is the funny thing.
Yeah.
The people that were buying the Jeeps were having the issue with this shifter. People that were buying Mercedes, who had the exact same shifter at the time,
I was going to say,
had no issues with it. So,
I'm not saying anything about Jeep owners here, but
none. But I'm just saying, We're not going after you guys.
Yeah. Well, the customer base is a little bigger.
Yeah, like, you know, and it's there's a lot more people to buy the Jeeps, and a lot more, you know.
Yeah.
So it was just that they had the same problems, but Chrysler ended up having to come out with a software that would
automatically put it in
back and forth.
Yeah. Yeah. And that was a good move. At least they, you know, were able to rectify it with software. You know, it wasn't like baked in where they couldn't undo.
Yeah. But it was the same. We used the same. Yeah, and that's my point. We used the same transmission as Mercedes, and you know, Mercedes has no issues. We all of a sudden got all these issues with it.
It was.
It's a different base entirely.
Yeah, and back then, because they only did that for they only had that shifter for 2 years, for 14 and 15, and they changed the whole shifter in 16. But you know, back then, I don't know that people went over their vehicles as
like
well.
We do.
The delivery process was more like, here's your keys, see ya.
Yeah,
you know,
big difference back then.
Nowadays delivery is like one of the most important steps.
It's a whole different ball game today, because I started in 2013, so I've been in it now. I think in March I'll be in it be selling cars for 13 years.
Yeah,
which is insane.
That's about how long I've been in it. Minus a year.
Yeah, I did not think I would be selling cars for 13 years.
Yeah, I mean, when I got into it, I was my eyes were big with what the managers, not here but at another store, were telling me my income could be, because I was like, man, I just came from a $12 to $15 an hour job, and I got a potential to make $130 grand per year. Like, man, you know, this is going to be the place to be. And you know, it's for some folks it can be very lucrative. We are a small to mid-sized dealership, so I would say anybody new going in, the sky is the limit. Yeah. You know, you really got to consider that you can sell as many cars as you want to, but there's going to be certain limitations and, you know, certain bottlenecks. Like inventory, for instance, you know, there's some places that have
limited inventory.
Yeah, like, you know, they'll have 3,000 cars on the yard, you know, and it's a lot easier to just not worry about what you might have. You probably got it if you got 3,000. So, but when I first started, that was the same deal. I didn't think I was going to be in it for very long.
Yeah.
And I got here actually, and George Willis, you know, really was kind of the one that hired me, and Brian was just starting to make his way into the management roles of, you know, hiring and stuff like that. But Brian taught me a lot. But George was the one who hired me, and he said, if you're going to work here, it's not going to be a job. This is a career, you know. And I didn't think about it all that much, you know, when he said that. But it started to really ingrain itself in my head. Hey, this can be a great way to make money, way to make a living, you know. And it became a lot more fun once I got over the hump of the struggles, you know.
Going out and getting chewed out for going and saying hey on the car.
yeah.
And then coming back inside because you decided to let them walk around and getting chewed out again by your managers. For not speaking to
it was a different era too back then.
Yeah.
You know, a decade ago,
way different world.
We had a lot of heavy hitters, and you almost kind of had to like keep your head down, because if you got in their way, they were going to make sure you had some troubles.
No, I got in their way. I didn't care.
Yeah. You had a different kind of approach to things, anyhow.
Two different perspectives.
Yeah, I mean, I was coming from a customer service background, and I just knew that if I bided my time, that eventually the way I sell cars would work, and I just had faith, and you know, and I think that is important for people to trust the process and to trust learning and following what other people are showing you, because I didn't know how to sell.
Right.
You know, I didn't have any idea. The first dealership I worked at basically made me a glorified delivery driver. You know, they didn't really show me how to sell cars. They basically used me for a utility, you know, assistant.
Yeah.
And which was fine. I guess I ended up being able to leave there and find a much better place to work.
Right.
So I look at it as a blessing. But it's really something when you come into a dealership like East Carolina that will teach you and has great mentors to help you along to make you better.
Yeah.
But but back to video, because back then video wasn't even a thing. I barely had a smartphone. And like I had a flip phone when I started in the car business. I could take video, but you couldn't like text it.
I think that's what I had too, was a flip phone. But you had to have, like, starting here, back then you had to have now everybody's got a smartphone, so it's no big deal. But when you first started, you had to have a smartphone and you had to have a laptop. You had to have those two things in order to work here.
Yeah.
So
my laptop was from 2004. You're talking about some real struggles starting. It was already a 10-year-old.
I don't even know what I had. Like I think I went out and bought one. Is what I ended up doing, and I worked with that one for probably 6-7 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I can appreciate needing the technology nowadays more so than back then. Back then it was more like you really just needed it for the CRM. Now you kind of need a decent smartphone. I wouldn't have upgraded if I wasn't able to do my YouTube stuff as easily.
Right.
Because my phone was starting to struggle. I was running out of space all the time. It's like,
But now you're sending videos to all these, like you're supposed to send videos. I get lazy with it, but you're supposed to send videos to all of your internet customers. If an internet lead comes in, you're supposed to send out like a, hey, thank you for sending.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, I think
you can't do that with a regular phone, with a flip phone.
No. I mean, if anybody's got a flip phone now, they're probably in their 70s and above. I mean, there was a small resurgence of Gen Z, I think, that was like dropping all technology to unplug, and they got themselves a dumb phone. But nowadays, if you don't have a smartphone, you're kind of disconnected from the world.
Yeah.
It's just not. You just kind of need it. And but the video thing, I think, is important. If anything, you can introduce yourself and they see who you are, and then when they come in, like the other day, I sold an internet customer. It's the first one in a while, which unfortunately I had kind of a cold streak in the last month and a half. All last month I did not sell even one, so yes, cold streak. And so I finally broke
I
through
think I
that
didn't sell
streak.
one this month.
Really?
I don't think I've sold one this
No,
month.
we still got some month left. Yeah. But he walked up and he knew exactly who I was. You know what I mean? There was not even a, hey, I'm Bobby, nice to meet you. He was just like, hey, Bobby. Like we had already talked, we had already got to know each other, and he knew what I looked like. It wasn't just a phone call, which a phone up usually they might be asking and wondering who you are. So I think that's an advantage.
Yeah.
But then some of your personality can come through, body language or just your enthusiasm.
Yeah.
I think video can really help with that.
Sure.
So ultimately, this business is mostly about selling ourselves more so than the car. I mean, it's important that we sell the car too.
People spend money with who they like.
Yeah, absolutely. And if they're not confident in you, it's very likely that they're not going to hang around. But yeah, so video being what it is, I've got my little YouTube and TikTok that I was keeping up with, but I kind of set it aside for a little bit. And I don't know if it was because of the comment. I don't think it was because of the comments, but I think it was mostly because I felt like I needed to focus on the people in my pipeline. You know, that was what was most important. And I finally had some time to catch up. Mm-hmm. We get bogged down with some tasks. That's the one downside to the internet team, that I was kind of relieved when they put me on the alternate, because I felt like it was, even though I want the opportunities, I want to have those opportunities, but I needed to catch up. I had people from a month ago that I was trying to follow up with that basically, I mean, at that point, they probably have moved on.
Yeah.
And, I I try to stay up with people at least 2 or 3 months, but I'm not hitting them up every single day.
Right.
You know, you got to stretch it out and give it a chance to breathe a little bit.
Right. Yeah.
Have you recently had anybody 2 or 3 months out, you know, that finally came in and you stayed in touch with?
Not really, man. Not necessarily. I guess every now and then. I had one that I have been following up with that came in after about 2 or 3 months and told me he bought somewhere else.
Oh my gosh!
I did have that.
He came in and told you
Yeah,
that?
he came in and then asked questions about the vehicle that he bought.
Oh my gosh!
And I was like, service department can help you.
Yeah. We talked about that in another episode. It's like, I go on, man. I spent all that time trying to
working you, and then you just.
Yeah, it can be a business of no, you know, and you have to have a little bit of thick skin in this business, you know, and it's tough sometimes because I feel like for a couple customers, not many, I've taken it personally.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I take it a little personally.
I take it personally every time.
Well, at the end of the day, it's business, but I mean, you know,
it depends on how to. I don't know, like how they, like, you know, I don't know, because sometimes, most of the time, I don't mind negotiating. I'm fine with negotiations. Like, it's a part of the business. This is how we do it. This is what we do.
Right.
Like, you're gonna ask for a lower price, you know, and then I'm gonna try to get you to buy it for as much as I can get you to buy it for. That's our job.
Yeah.
Your job is to get it for as low as you can. But at the end of the day, you know, they're going to negotiate. So, and you wake up in the morning and you think, yeah, that's going to happen. Mm-hmm. And that's fine.
Yeah, I mean, there's times where I look forward to that confrontation.
No. Kind of yes and no.
I mean, you know, sometimes it can be fun.
Sometimes
when I love it when
you're winning.
Well, yeah, obviously that's the best when you win. But the build up to it. So, like, I had somebody that had come in and online. It's the same customer that they put in. I'm making an offer for $50,000 for your truck. The truck was $57,000. I didn't even address what he put in the notes. I mean, it's not like I didn't see it and I didn't acknowledge it later when he came in, because he tried it again when he came in to make the deal. But I was like, you know, I mean, that's not really a reasonable offer. But how about you give me a number that what you would do today, you know, and then it starts the conversation, you know, and. Eventually, I mean, I think we ended up saving them a few $100, maybe $1,200. You know, it was a win for us and a win for him. You know, he felt like he won because he got a little bit better deal, and it was already a really great deal. You know, and sometimes that's why I think people come to car lots, you know, like ours. That's not a one price only place, is because they feel like they can get a little bit more. And feel like they really got a deal, and it's all about that feeling, you know, of getting something and being proud of how you got it, I guess, you know. Like, I do that with all the stuff I buy online, you know. I'll wait for it. I'm patient.
Yeah.
You know?
Wait for the price drop.
Yeah.
But it's a gamble, though. It is a gamble.
That's
like,
true.
You know, so, and that's what I try to explain to customers. They're like, the lady did, she wanted to come in from, Raleigh and buy a Toyota RAV4 for whatever reason. We had been sitting on this thing for however long. Mm-hmm. It made no sense that we sat on it for as long as we did, but we did. Yeah. And she was like, well, I'm going to just wait a couple of weeks until, you know, the price is a little bit better. Mm-hmm. And I said, well, you're taking a gamble. That's, you know, I don't think we're going to sit on this for too much longer.
Right.
And sure enough, within the next 2 or 3 days, it had been sold. Mm-hmm. And so...
the fire sale worked.
Yeah, you know. So, I mean, you know, it's a gamble.
Yeah. Sometimes when you see that really good deal, especially on a pre-owned vehicle, you got the hype on it.
Yeah. Anybody in the Jordan world that likes sneakers and stuff, you understand.
Oh, yeah. Limited availability.
Yeah, ain't no waiting.
The FOMO is real.
Yeah.
And you will actually miss out sometimes.
And if you do miss out, you're going to pay another $100, $200 to get that pair of shoes.
Right. Yeah.
So,
I've been patient on computers. I've been waiting because my computer is getting to about the 5 or 6 year mark. and
Mine's about 5, 6 years.
I finally pulled the trigger. So it was time. Like I had been waiting. It's been like 2 months of watching deals and doing all this research, and I'm just so tired of looking at it. You know what I mean? Like there's a certain point where it's like, okay, this is, I think, the one. And after all those months of research, and I spent maybe 20 minutes researching the one I got, and finally deciding, okay, this checks all the boxes.
Right.
You know, at that point, I was so knowledgeable about the product that I didn't need to cross-reference or do all these other things that I was doing previously when I was shopping. And it was a decent deal. It wasn't a great deal.
Right.
You know, but it had all the things I wanted. And I think that happens in the car shopping process too, where there's a certain point the customer gets sick of looking. You know, they're just like, okay, I know what I like.
Yeah.
And that's really the most important thing.
Yeah.
I was telling somebody that yesterday. I was like, look, I get that payment's really important to you, but why don't you come in, drive it, see that you like it, because look, you could be thinking about this payment for weeks and months, and then you drive it and you're like, daggone.
Yeah.
Turns out I didn't really like this thing.
Yeah.
And, you know,
Yeah.
they've never even seen it or driven.
That is such a true statement. They're like, I know I'm like it. I know I'm like it. And then they test drive it and they're like,
Yeah, this didn't have this like I thought.
yeah.
This feels a little different when I'm going. It's a feel thing.
Suspension is a little bit of stuff.
Right.
Whatever.
And especially with Wranglers. I feel like people get so hung up on the looks of the Wrangler.
They
never
have
come in
no
and drive
idea.
it.
Yeah, they have no idea. Because you have no idea what you're getting with a Wrangler.
Yeah.
I tell 90% of customers that are looking at Wranglers, this needs to be a third vehicle.
Well, it's, you know.
I had so many people, this is when I worked at Washington, so many people that would come out and buy a Wrangler.
Mm-hmm.
And after, I don't know, 2 or 3 months, a month maybe, they'd come back and be like, nope, can't do it. Like, it's too much. And
Yeah, they climb in and out.
Yeah, like, you know, I had an older
Bumping
couple.
around.
Well, I had an older couple that come out and bought a Wrangler, and it was like, this is my dream car, this is what I wanted all my life, and I was like, okay, great, you know. And
Excited
after
for you.
driving it for like 2 or 3 months, or not even 2 or 3 months, it was barely even a month. They came back and was like, you got to get me out of this. You got to get me out of it.
Yeah.
And we test drove it and everything, but sometimes, you know.
Yeah. And
They're
they
not-
ride a lot nicer than they used to.
Oh, yeah, they're way better than what they used to be.
It's
But it's still a Wrangler.
Yeah.
It is a Wrangler.
it's made to be off-road.
It is a off-road vehicle.
And
It's
people
go
doing
on the beach with it.
daily drivers, you know, and
Yeah.
I mean, you could be in something much more comfortable.
Absolutely.
You know, that's why our Jeep Grand Cherokee actually outsells our Wrangler here. I think is that they might be looking at both. It's kind of rare that they are,
Yeah.
but you know, they drive one and they drive the other, and I'm like, yeah, there's no way.
Yeah, like you
I'm gonna
can't
put up with this.
No, there's no reason for it.
Yeah.
You're better off getting a Wrangler or a Jeep Grand Cherokee.
No,
Unless it's a third vehicle, it's something that you're
Yeah.
just going to take to the beach. You're just going to take it and climb up the side of a mountain.
right. Yeah, and you know, there's a lot of people that buy them and never even put it in 4-wheel drive.
And then they say, "Well, I want a Rubicon." Well, what you like about the Rubicon? It looks nice.
Right. Yeah.
Please don't buy a Rubicon.
Buy you a hood upgrade. Get you some fatter tires.
Yeah, like please don't get.
You're getting the stiffest suspension.
Yeah.
You're getting the worst fuel economy. You're getting the rugged tires.
Worst all-around ride.
Yeah.
It's the worst all-around ride you can get.
Yeah. And I mean, it is super capable. It is the most capable of the Wranglers, but it also means that you sacrifice comfort.
Yeah.
And that's you know, there's
Yeah.
pros and cons. You got to look at what you're getting, what you're giving up.
Yeah.
And you know, that's where we come into play. I promise I'm not going to talk you out of something.
No.
You know, I'm
But
gonna,
I am going to be straight up.
Yeah.
Like I think a lot of us that's been in it for a while, we've become very transparent, and very
Right.
open about.
Yeah.
You know,
We want our customers to be happy.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
want to sell you a car and then like 2 months later you're like, I don't want this.
Right.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
I tried to warn you, but
Because a lot of times, I mean, people aren't coming in and buying cash. They're financing. 2-3 months later, they're going to have some bad news when they go to trading in.
yeah.
It don't matter what it is. He going to have some bad news.
Yeah. I got a guy that bought a Mercedes September of last year,
Mm-hmm.
and then he had positive equity in his trade.
Mm-hmm.
But what he wanted to do was take the positive equity that he had, instead of going towards the cars,
Mm-hmm.
he wanted the check back.
Oh, okay.
That was not smart.
Was near about a high
So
interest
now-
loan on his money.
But
he
now
took
he's
out.
like he's $14,000 upside down in
my
this
gosh.
vehicle,
Yeah.
and he's at a. I'm just like, bro, like you can't. He's like, what do you think was gonna happen? Like you want to trade 8 months later, 6 months later?
Yeah. It's a depreciating asset at the end of the day.
Don't do it. Just be wise with your purchase. Be like, do the research. Do the like. Don't be. I don't know.
Well,
If
it's
I'm
fine.
buying a car, it's gonna be a Ram 1500.
Yeah.
They're comfortable.
Mhm.
I can throw stuff in the bed.
Yeah.
Like I can,
It can be an everyday driver.
it can be an everyday driver.
And
like,
still have utility.
You can take it on trips. Like you're going to be comfortable when you get to where you're going.
Oh, yeah.
All of these things. It
Yeah.
checks all of those boxes.
Yeah, that's why they, for a long time, anybody that ran a business, that was basically living in their truck,
Yeah.
as a mobile office
Yeah.
because of how comfortable it was just sitting in the truck.
Yeah.
You're not cramped. You've
No.
got plenty of space. You've got a console that you can fit all your stuff in. And
It's a good vehicle. Again, that's what I like. That's
Yeah.
what but it's a comfortable vehicle and I can drive it for 5 or 6 years or 7, 8 years.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be happy for those 5, 6, 7, 8 years.
you know,
I'm going to be happy.
yeah,
But I don't buy a vehicle with any intentions of trading within the next
Yeah.
6 months.
no,
Like it just ain't gonna happen.
no, there ain't a vehicle out there that's gonna make you happy 6 months later, equity wise. You're
Yeah.
gonna lose.
Yeah.
You're gonna lose money.
I just don't think about it. Like the first truck I bought,
Hmm.
was like a 2-door Ram 1500
Oh yeah.
from here.
Short bed?
Yeah, short bed.
Oh yeah.
It was beautiful.
I love those trucks. Not
Yeah.
very practical, but they're
No,
awesome.
it was awesome. But I was excited because I was buying a brand new truck.
Right.
And this is when I was 23, maybe 22, 23. Young. I was
Yeah.
young and full of, emotions and whatever.
Yeah.
So when I saw this truck, I was like, oh, yeah. And then I got approved for it, and I was like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't pay any attention to what I was getting.
Right. Yeah.
And then later on, while I was driving, somebody got out of my truck on the passenger side
Mm-hmm.
and went on their way. And then I went down the road a little piece and realized that they never rolled the window up.
Hmm.
And guess what I don't have in this truck that I bought?
Oh, yeah. It's,
Power windows.
yeah, power windows. Yeah.
So now while I'm going down the road, I gotta reach way over here and crank this window back up.
Yeah.
So,
You gotta have mindful passengers when you got to roll out windows.
yeah, so when I look, after about 6 months, I was like, darn, I probably should have bought something with some power windows at least.
Right. Yeah.
But even then, I was like, I probably can't. I need to wait. And I waited and waited and waited.
No.
And then finally, I was working at Crop Classic at the time, and the GM walked out and was like, somebody told me he was thinking about trading. And he hit me with a number, and it was like, it put me where I was like $1,000 negative equity.
Oh yeah.
So when he hit me with that number, I was like,
Yeah, it's time to jump ship.
yeah, let's go. Like, let's go.
I'm free.
Yeah, like, I'm ready.
Yeah,
So,
if you're at a $1,000 equity situation, plus or minus.
yeah,
I
like
mean,
you're good.
Yeah,
that's
you're
basically
doing pretty
even.
good.
Yeah, that's basically even.
Yeah, it usually takes 3-4 years.
Well, that's what it was.
before-
It was 2 or 3 years.
Oh man,
before. Yeah, it was.
with that truck for that long.
Yeah, I was.
Uh,
But it's like I was trying to say, I
You stay
think
with
about
something.
it.
Yeah.
Well, I'll think about it. I'm like, man, I wish I would have traded for this, or I wish I would have traded for that,
Right.
or got this, or got that. But then I just don't think about it. Then I just like I'm like, all right, you know.
Just
And then
go
I got to the
work
point to where whenever somebody was getting out of the car, hey, make sure that window's rolled up.
Yeah. Before you go.
Yeah.
I ain't reaching.
So, like, it was like I could deal with it, and
Yeah.
I did deal with it, and I
Right.
weren't to the point where it's like, oh, I got to get out of this thing. Like, I've got to get out. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like I'm more of like, I can wait. I can,
Yeah.
even my car now, like, I love my car, and it's a great car.
Well, it's funny
But, like,
you
I'm
mentioned that
thinking.
because your vehicle becomes